Oh, good morning and welcome to Beyond the Chutes, presented by ParaSight Systems. What a beautiful day this Friday morning. We are set up here in the main conference area at the Hilton Garden Inn. Did I say that right, Sam? Hilton Garden Inn?
I believe so.
Here in Guthrie, Oklahoma. And we are here, and of course that's Sam talking, two-time IFR Saddle Bronc average winner. And when I say IFR, we got to slow it down just a little bit. International Finals Rodeo. This is the 54th year for this, and we're set up here right in the middle of where the Contract Act Showcase are going to be talking to all their folks as they come through. We've got contract acts and announcers and barrowmen, just a lot going on here. And today we are, as I said, recording in Guthrie, Oklahoma. This is BTC on the road again. And today we're going to be talking about the results of the first round that we saw last night, IFR 54. Sam, what do you think of the Lazy Arena? You'd been here before, but what'd you think of it last night?
I've been here quite a few times, and the facility is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it has everything you're looking for in a rodeo venue, and it was built basically for rodeos and horse shows and things of that nature, a little off the beaten path for the spectators, a little inconvenient, but it wasn't built for that, and times have changed, and the new owners have turned it into that. So it's a great place for horse event, equine events.
You bet. Big arena, great ground. I mean, the barrel pattern, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later in our show. Barrel pattern is huge, and looked like great footing for everything going on. Now, a couple of other things, Sam, that stood out to me. The instant replay, where the competitors have the opportunity to go back. It's going to cost them money. We're going to explain this a little bit. So similar to what the PBR's been doing, the International Finals Rodeo, the International Professional Rodeo Association has brought this instant recall. So let's say, for example, we've got Joe Farren that's with us here. He's going to be talking to us in just a little bit in the saddle bronc riding. Let's say that they said he didn't have his foot in the stirrup at 8 seconds or whatever. He can go ring the bell, or he can raise his hand, and they will play it back, and they will watch it. And all of us fans, Sam, we sat there and we watched it too last night. We actually saw it in the steer wrestling.
Yeah, well, I've seen it a couple times, and just far past the time that this should have been put in.
Yeah.
You know, these people travel their whole year, and to lose it or win it on a judgment call that isn't correct, and we all make mistakes and whatever, but I asked Clint Corey what he thought of it yesterday, one of the judges here, and he says, well, we want to get the right call.
Yeah.
What a perfect answer.
Oh, man.
You know, you want it right. You don't want to help anybody. You don't want to hurt anybody. You want the right call, and that's the way I've liked it in the PBR. They have so many camera angles. I don't think they have quite that here, but 90% of the time you can get the right call. And in the steer wrestling last night, unless there was a barrier malfunction, you could see that Justin Thigpen broke the barrier.
Yeah.
You know, if there was a malfunction, then we didn't know what went on, but they ended up giving him the plus 10, and he thought something wasn't right, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we'll find out later if we talk to him.
You bet.
But it is long overdue.
You bet. And you know, amount of money that's up for grabs, we've talked about this, and they spent, what'd they spend? They probably spent 2-3 minutes really watching it, making sure they got it right, because you know what, to go rounds here, they pay $3,700 to win, so this is the real deal. And we talked about if you win, like Joe Farren's going to be here, he's going to be talking to us here in a bit. If you win out, if Joe wins all 4 rounds, wins the average, he's going to walk away with a little over $22,000 for the weekend, Sam.
Kind of something to look forward to, isn't it, Joe?
Oh, yeah, and chasing that top hand bonus as well. They're getting out.
Well, you got the right start.
Yeah.
Just snowball it from there.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And welcome, Joe. Welcome to BTC. Glad to have you.
Thank y'all for having me. This is cool.
This is cool. A lot of fun.
Now hold it, Doug. I told Joe to snowball it from there.
Oh.
He's from Florida. He might not know what happens with the snowball.
Okay.
But
You want to talk
Keep
about
the train
that?
going down the tracks the right way.
That's right.
Keep the momentum, the big mo. And what's going on this weekend? Well, of course, last night we had the opening round, IFR 54 Performance 1. Tonight at 7:30, we're going to do it again. This afternoon, we've got the Old Timers reunion. We're hoping to get with some folks here today. And tomorrow, let me back up. Tonight, the second performance at 7:30. Of course, Sam and I are going to be there, get some more behind-the-scenes pictures and videos and that sort of thing. And then tomorrow, the Contract Act Showcase that I've been talking about. All these folks are setting up. There's going to be a whole bunch of them. They're setting up here so the rodeo stock contractor, Sam, can come through and talk to these folks, get them hired for the season.
Yeah, this is the place that they come and you can talk to multiple people that announcers, contract acts, clowns, barrelmen, bullfighter, and they come and talk to them and gives them more than getting on the phone in one evening after you come into work and trying to call different people. You can get lots of cards and information and go back and sort it out and see who you think you might want to hire for the summer.
You bet. And nothing like seeing the real deal. Tomorrow we have the competition that we're going to be going to. That is the IPRA Contracts Act Showcase. They actually place these fellows and these gals in these particular styles that they bring, whether you're a trick roper or a barrel man or an announcer. You've watched this, Sam. We've watched this.
Well, I didn't just watch it, I've done it, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
I've always tried to hire somebody for the whole summer run because I didn't want to have to go back and look at who's coming. And, of course, my paperwork is the best in the world. So but if you could get them for all summer, you knew who was going to be there, and it just made life a lot easier.
Yeah.
You knew what they needed and expected of you, and you knew what you were going to get from them.
You bet. And I thought you said you were in the Contract Act Showcase. Did I misunderstand what you said? You've been there. You've done that, you said.
The hiring part.
Oh, the hiring part.
No, nobody would want to hire me for anything.
And then Saturday night, Performance 3, Round 3, 7:30 in the evening at the Lazy Arena. We're going to be back there. And then Sunday, we've got the OG&E Kids Day that's going to be starting at noon. And then the final performance is going to be going off at 2 o'clock back in Lazy E for the final fourth performance. And at that time, we will be crowning our year-end champions.
Yes. So excited to be here and probably excited for it to finish. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to where they're doing the awards banquet for the world champions because of where it's at, the history of the town that it's in.
Yeah.
And Dale was explaining it to us a little bit yesterday, but I knew that this town of Edmond was the capital.
No, Guthrie.
Guthrie, excuse me. Guthrie. See, I didn't even know. No, I did know that Guthrie was the capital because when I heard it, I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of a history person, and when I heard it, I said, "Oh, wow, Guthrie's the capital of Oklahoma at one time until they moved it to Oklahoma City."
So when you memorize your capitals way back when, did you also throw in, and by the way, Guthrie used to be the state capital?
When I did that in fourth grade, the teacher didn't believe me.
She didn't?
No, she had to look it up.
Well, that's you're pretty advanced. I do know that.
It's funny, my grandboys, they'll, hey, trying to trick me up.
Yeah.
What's the capital of Nebraska? They did ask me that the other day, and I had to think, and I got it right.
Did you
once.
get it right?
Yeah.
What is it? I'm going to put you on the spot. Lincoln. Well done. Well, I don't know if that's right, Joe. Could be.
I don't know.
I'm sure if it's not, somebody will correct us.
Yes, no doubt. So I'm from Louisville, right? And we say it. I say it Louisville. You kind of roll it Louisville. How do you say Louisville?
Louisville? No.
Louisville. Yeah. And Joe, how do you pronounce the state capital of Kentucky? Go ahead.
Louisville.
Oh, really?
I got you, Doug. Lexington is how I pronounce it.
Oh, wrong. Another wrong. No, it's Frankfurt.
Oh, well. See,
That's an old joke, and I'm sorry.
I knew the joke, but I didn't know the right answer.
Yeah. And all the great sponsors that the International Professional Rodeo Association's put together for this great finals. We've got Wrangler, we got Loves, we got Ram, OG&E, and Montana Silversmith. And we said earlier that the Old Timers reunion is going to be going on here. We're going to be set up here. We're going to maybe get a little bit closer, but we're going to meet some folks this afternoon. So let's get to talking a little bit about the money. We've talked about that. Big dollars coming in. Justin Thigpen in the all-around championship. He won the calf roping last night, so his numbers are getting bigger. But let's go to the bareback bronc riding. And the bareback bronc riding, let's see here as I go to my sheet. Quentin Lunsford last night, Sam. McCune, Kansas cowboy, comes into the IFR in the number 7 position, wins out last night, 83 and a quarter points, picks up $3,700, and in the process picks up 4 places in the standings, goes from 7th to 4th place in the bareback bronc riding. What'd you think of his ride?
7th to 4th, he moved 3 places in the standings.
Standings.
Pretty good.
Absolutely.
Pretty good. Must be a tight race if
tight.
That's the case. I was impressed with the horse he had last night. I believe it was Hampton's horse, and really started outstanding. Just couldn't ask for something better to ride. And of course, I kind of look at the horses a little more.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
but really nice, and what a nice pen of bareback horses were.
Yeah.
Really good. They had a couple in there that didn't work, and they gave them re-rides like they should. The first one I didn't think they did. I thought, what, guys, these are such good horses. Let's at least make it fair, and they did.
They did, absolutely. And coming in second last night is our 2022 world champion, Mr. Tanner Phipps, comes out of Dalton, Georgia, of course, placed on an 82-point ride last night, picked up $2,700, stays solid in that number 1 position, and that moves him to about $34,000 on the year so far. Sam, what'd you think of Tanner's ride last night?
Tanner's ride was good, just kind of solid, didn't make a mistake. Horse went down through there nice, and Tanner rode him good. It was solid, I guess is the word to say. Didn't get carried away. He stayed close to him. He could have exposed himself a little more and got some more points, but that's, and that's kind of the way I rode, kind of tried to do the basics every time and didn't get crazy. So.
All right. And the next cowboy that he actually placed third in the round, 80 points to place third, $1,852 he won. Stetson Bierman, the Illinois cowboy, comes in, puts it on him last night, Sam.
Yeah, I've never seen this boy ride before, but he did a good job last night. I was very impressed with him, and he ended up showing up by winning third. So it was a good ride. Good
ride. And then finally rounding out, I should say, the 4-point or the 4 money positions. Matthew Smith, Tylertown, Mississippi cowboy, places 4th with the 78.25 ride and picks up $900. That moves him up in the standings as well. He came in actually number 14 in the point standings, picked up 2 positions last night.
Now, was this Matthew you're talking about, or?
Yes, Matthew Smith.
Yeah. And he's been around a long time. I'd hate to say he's old, but sorry, Matt, it happens to all of us.
Yep.
And he rides good and solid and does his basics really well, and it showed last night.
You bet. And then the cowboy we're watching, we're spotting, right? To McBain, Michigan's cowboy, Blaine Houston, 17 years of age. He put a 77-point ride together last night, Sam, just out of the money.
Yeah, and he did what he had to with what he had. Horse kind of got a little strong at the end, got him strung out just a little bit, but he's a young kid, and this caliber of livestock, you're going to finish them stronger than you started. and that's something he'll have to learn through the years.
You bet, you bet. And moving on to the saddle bronc riding, we've got Mr. Joe Farren. You've already met him. He's already talked to us here a little bit. Cottondale, Florida cowboy comes in the number 1 points position, and you know what? Solidifies it. Goes 79.5 points last night. Picks up first place, 3,700. Joe, what'd you think of your ride last night?
Oh, it was a blast. It was fun. I was so excited when I seen I had Crazy Alice. She's been around as long as I can even remember. Never had her drawn anywhere, but I seen I had her, and so excited to have her.
Okay, and you won the average last year.
Yes, sir.
What a great start you got going here. What's the game plan?
Just spur all my horses out, hold them for 2, and like Mr. Sam said, just try and finish my ride stronger than I started. And I think the way they judge out here and what I've noticed that really pays off to set your feet and drag, and maybe where it don't always seem to be that way throughout the year at a lot of rodeos, like it really comes down here and it pays off, and it's just worth it.
Okay, absolutely. Talk a little bit about the Bronc, Sam. You owned this horse at one time.
Yeah, Crazy Alice, well, we'll start from scratch. Got her name by a guy that worked for me, Nate Grogan, and his mother's name was Alice, and must be she flew off the handle sometimes.
Okay.
When this horse, when we first got him, I bought him out of South Dakota when I bought about 40 head, and right from the start was just the kind you wanted to get on.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
has definitely lost a step or two with his age. He's about 18. We were figuring that out the other day. Perfect for somebody to make a outstanding spur ride like Joe did last night.
Okay.
Toes were turned out, really getting a hold of them, and he is just fun to ride type horse. And if you had 100 of them, you'd have lots of bronc riders. You wouldn't have to worry about.
Now wait a minute. Crazy Alice.
Crazy Alice is a gelding.
Oh my God!
Everybody thinks it's America's
Well,
of
of
the
course.
name, but it's a gelding.
I'm guilty of that.
Is
too.
that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what'd you take for a Bronc rein?
Well, the hardest thing about that horse is when you call everybody, they just brag and say how good she feels, and the pressure of screwing her up is a little higher. But I went X and 5.
Okay.
I had some tell me X and 3. I had some tell me double.
Holy cow!
Just where you measure with your fingers.
Yeah. So guys, if you would, X and 5. He means what's that?
I just go 4 and then I split my pinky out a little bit.
Okay. Let's break this down.
For the people that don't know, which is most of them, and I'm not saying that negative.
Yeah.
Your buck rein is what you have a hook to the halter, it's to the horse's head, and that's basically your balance point to riding broncs. So you pull that back to the saddle, to the swells, tight. I want to say tight. A lot of people pull it so tight it bends the horse's head. I just pull it back so there's good tension on it. And you put your hand at the swell of the saddle, stick your thumb out. That's what they call an average at the end of your thumb. But X and 4 was 4 fingers over. So Joe actually gave Crazy Alice 5 fingers over, because that horse, and when the guys ask him what to give him, X and 3, X double X, which is your thumb, your next hand out double, is and none of them are wrong. That horse will take whatever you give him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I was getting her, I'd probably done a double X, let it take its head a little more, because when I rode, it helped me get back farther. If I had too short a rein, oh my goodness, I looked like I was, just stuck there.
Yeah.
But I liked a little longer rein when I rode.
Okay.
And it probably ended up being double because he thrashed around in there and took a little from me when I was in there, so it probably worked out to be about double. I about fumbled the football last night because I knew everybody said get in there, don't waste time, and I don't like to do that. And she thrashed around, and the neck rope pulled the halter off her head.
I saw that. I see you guys tying it on with
trying
the
to tie
mane.
it back on. So I really almost screwed the pooch on that from the gate, but it worked out.
And what happens in your mind when that happens? You're stepping down. You're sitting down, right? You're in position. You had your feet in the stirrups and everything?
Yeah, I'm just, come on, hurry up.
Okay.
Like I in my mind, I was going to take her sitting or whatever, just because they're so good. You don't want to waste your opportunity on them. But when I seen the halter off her ears, I was like, oh, I better. And he stood there good and left out of there and was just phenomenal.
And you got focused again. You're good to go. No problem. Good.
Absolutely.
Good. And talk a little bit about your year you've had. You been going hard?
No, it's been a year. The WCRA finals in Fort Worth set me up. I was rolling strong. I had a huge lead, and I got hurt in June in Davie. I shattered my collarbone.
Oh, my.
Had a brain hemorrhage and a collapsed lung, and had
Really?
surgery and was out all summer long and didn't get to rodeo.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I just had that surgery. I had to wait 3 weeks for the surgery for my hemorrhage on my brain to heal up, they could put me under. But so I watched my lead just evaporate very, very quickly over the 3 months, and but 8 weeks after surgery, I got on a horse close to home, and it felt good. And then I flew and went to St. Tite and went about 5,300 up there.
Nice.
And kind of clawed my way back to have a shot up here this year.
Yeah, and speaking of the WCRA, the World Champions Rodeo Alliance, Fort Worth, you said. How'd you do in Fort Worth?
Good. I win second behind Isaac Diaz. I win, I think, like 8,000 there.
Oh, my goodness.
It was phenomenal.
Okay.
It was cool. I got to get on some really cool horses. Delta Dawn, Hail Maid, and one of J Bar J's, Dirty Lizard. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that concept in IRA kind of working together and just the opportunities that gives a person?
It's amazing. It's a game changer. You get to, go to those big, tight feeling rodeos. I would probably describe it for a bronc rider like that PBR atmosphere. Like maybe you get to draft your animals. You get to, it's there's a lot of different aspects to it. That's different. That's exciting. That's worth investing in and going and doing it. Like my buddy Cody Reinhardt win a $25,000 bonus that year at Fort Worth just for nominating all these rodeos he goes to.
Yeah. And of your winnings, what percentage goes to your world standings?
I think 7,500 went to it. Like you can win up to 10,000. I think.
Okay.
That goes to your standings is what they have in the rules.
Okay. Excellent.
So that really carried me when I got hurt and was out. That 7,500 really kind of padded me to take some time off.
You bet. You still put together a great year, coming in number one. You showed up here with about 33,000 in winnings, and as of last night, you're sitting at about 36.5 with that win. Yes. Any you recovered? You're 100% recovered now, Joe?
Yes, they put a plate and 6 screws on my clavicle, and it's stout. It's like an H brace now. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great again. I put a little weight back on. I'm a little bigger of a bronc rider, so I had to crack out a bigger bronc saddle.
Yeah. Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everything's feeling good again. I'm feeling great.
Good.
Now there's a couple things there, and I'll probably forget about the first one, but I'd like to commend you. When you first started coming around, you were a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my goodness, And now you look really fit and in shape, and you've worked hard at it.
Yes, sir.
And guys, that's part of it out there. It's not the way it was when I was riding. You get in shape, get those reflexes faster, and I always knew I should do it, and I did a little bit working out, but the reflexes, the mind is such a huge part of it. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing was with this WCRA don't be crazy, people. This is opportunities that you'll never, it's there.
Yeah.
I say never get again, because I think you will. I think they are really good opportunities, and don't be dumb. Go out and take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to win it.
You bet.
Work hard at it and see how it goes.
You bet. No, that's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, Joe, we wish you good luck tonight and throughout the whole weekend. Man, $22K if you win out. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then you're going to go hard next summer? What are you thinking?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll go to a bunch of the winter rodeos in Florida, in the southeast, and things start cranking up in the summer. We'll just see what way God's pulling me to go, and I'll go that direction and try to make as many finals and as many circuit finals as I can, and play the WCRA game and stay healthy this year.
Oh boy, we're with you. We're going to be cheering for you.
Well, best of luck to you, Joe. Maybe I'll see you down south sometime, because I don't want to spend the winter up north. It's the best place in the summertime, but the winters kind of suck. So, not even going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I might see you down at some of the rodeos down south. Thank you for coming on the show, and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. This is a first podcast, and
wonderful.
It wasn't too bad.
All right, no. So before you go, right, we got a saying, BTC, riding for the brand. Do it how any way you want to do it. It's up to you, Joe. You just won first round.
BTC, riding for the brand.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sam, we are back. BTC is back. We had a little bit of a break there. Great talking to Joe. Great. You had met him before. He'd been up and around?
Yeah, Joe's come up to a lot of our rodeos, and he's been around probably 6-8 years.
Okay.
And I've seen a huge improvement from the first time he came up.
Okay.
Just huge.
Yeah. What a wreck he had this year. My goodness, dude. Battling back like that?
And I never even knew about it.
Yeah.
Never even heard it. And,
yeah.
But it looks like he's getting back in good shape, and he rode very well last night.
He rode great, yeah. Another cowboy that rode great, Wayne, Oklahoma, cowboy Cody Goetzen. He ended up second and third. They split the second and third place last night. He had a 76 and a quarter points to $2,300 he won, as did Hidalgo, Illinois cowboy Stefan Graffin. What do you think of these two guys, Sam, last night? 76 and a quarter points each.
They both made solid rides. Nothing real good, nothing bad, just really solid. Keeping them in that average, trying to fight for the title, the IPRA champ.
You bet.
So, really solid.
You bet. And Cody Reinhardt had a great ride last night, too. The Rinzi, Mississippi cowboy comes in here number 4th in the rankings, goes 76 points last night, wins $926.
Yeah, Cody, he rides really well. Just right there where he wants, not where he wants to be. Of course, you want to be first, but where he wants to be. So he's right in the hunt.
You bet. Another cowboy we're watching came in here ranked number 3, Cookeville, Tennessee cowboy Rudy Troyer, went 71.5 points, just out of the money, Sam.
Yeah, that horse was a little hard to ride. He turned back and didn't have any timing. Hard to make a nice spur ride on it to look good.
You bet. And staying with the rough stock riding, let's go into the bull riding. This young man out of Milan. Is it Milan or Milan, Texas? Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah. No, it is Milan.
Okay.
Milan, Tennessee is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to have to remember this, because this young man, Hudson Bolton, 17 years of age, high school cowboy, come to the finals with $50,000. First place, $31,000 over second place, and son of a gun, Sam, if he isn't the only one that rode a bull, he picked up $9,300 last night.
And for a 17-year-old kid, that's got to feel pretty good. I hope he's smart with it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But yeah, his bull didn't have the trip he usually does. Kind of turned back and then scattered off, ran out through there, and was real hard to ride. And the kid kind of pressed me. He stayed very square, right in the middle, and I really wanted to see this kid, and he did not disappoint.
Yeah. So we talked about it in our pre-show, Sam. I said, is it possible? Well, we know it's possible. $9,300 go-round money, ground money, if there's only one person that rides the bull. And if you do that 4 times, that's like $38,000. That's crazy amounts of money, Sam. Are we going to see another big one ride in a performance again over the next 3 days?
I would say no.
No. Okay.
But
yeah.
I got to make a prediction. You said
you do. So you got to take a position, dude. You got to take a position.
If I was at the tables, I'd say no because the odds would be in our favor.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's what I'll say.
Okay. And we're going to be watching him tonight as we get back in position. So let's switch just a little bit to the steer wrestling, Sam. Traden Anderson comes in last night, ranked second in the world standings, and he picked up first place with a 4.2 second run. The Hannah, Oklahoma Cowboy put it on him last night, Sam.
Made an outstanding run. 4.2 in this arena. It's a big arena, and you got to get out behind that barrier, and it was his turn. Everything worked. Good steer. Did what he had to do.
Absolutely.
Just very well.
He did a good job. Matt Fisher was second with a 4.7 second run. He picked up about $2,800 last night. Chase Crane, the Oklahoma City, Oklahoma Cowboy, dogs in a 4.8, places him third. He wins $1,852. And then finally, Morris, Oklahoma Cowboy comes in fourth place. Actually, no, there's a split for fourth. A 5.4. He dogged 5.4. So David Reagan, the Oklahoma Cowboy, and Kim Langlois out of Quebec, they split fourth place. These picked up about $460. So they put it on him. And go ahead.
Oh, well, I said remember who my dark horse was.
Yeah.
And he ended up second last night.
Okay. Good for you.
Made a very nice run. I thought he was going to be a little faster than he was, but might have ran him a little stride farther than the 4.2, but made an outstanding run.
Okay, excellent. So we're going to cheer him on. Matt Fisher, Ontario Cowboy. I tell you what, the Canadians are representing here this year, Sam.
They had a good night last night.
Yeah.
It as cold as it's been, and I don't know if they've been going anywhere to get on, but they didn't look very rusty.
Okay. Okay. No, they didn't look rusty at all. And, that reminds me, we heard a story last night. Of course, we played the Pro Fantasy Rodeo brackets right during the National Finals Rodeo, and we had a bet. Do you remember the bet?
Yeah.
Yeah. New York beef against Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
Guess what? I got a bottle of bourbon here I'm going to give you in just a moment. You beat me. You whooped me. You whooped me.
You better wait till I'm done talking because I won't be good.
All right. Tie down calf roping. Justin Thigpen, what can you say about this man? I'm hoping he stops by and talks to us, Sam. Waycross, Georgia Cowboy. 10 world championships in the tie-down calf roping on its own. International Finals Rodeo winner for IFR 49 and 53. 8.3 seconds last night, Sam. Take first place, $3,700.
And that was a big-time run in a big arena. Once again, they're behind the score line. That means they can't start. I don't know what the barrier would be here, but I imagine they have to give the calf probably 12, 13-foot head start.
Yeah.
And it could be longer than that. I'm just making that up with what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So they have to give that head start to the animal and made an outstanding run for this arena.
Yeah, so in the smaller venues, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, were there for the PBR. When you were there and they'd set up timed events, what kind of a head start would they give the steer there?
The calf would have probably there.
Or the calf, sorry.
Yeah, and it's different on each event.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Like the team roping would probably be the longest, and then calf roping, and steer wrestling would be the shortest.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But I would imagine in Johnstown in the tie down roping, it would have been probably a 8-foot head start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that worth a half a second? Is that worth
Oh, probably a whole second.
a whole second?
Yeah.
So in a smaller arena where he tied in a 8-3, it would be possible for him to have tied last night in a 7-3, potentially?
Very possible.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
The barrier is everything at
Yeah.
these timed events.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
If you don't get out of there, you might as well pull up and ride out of the arena because you're not going to win.
Yeah. All right. And then Glenn.
Hold it, Doug. May I explain myself? You might as well pull up and ride. Never do that.
Never do that.
Ride, finish, do the best you can
Okay.
do on what you have. You never know what's going to happen behind you.
And learn from it and don't make that same mistake again. Is that what you're saying?
Well, try to learn from the barrier is
Yeah.
trying to teach a monkey how to drive, because some days it's good and some days it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. And before we get too far, I want to back up a little bit. The instant replay we talked about last night, that was in the tie-down calf roping.
No, that was in the steer wrestling.
Oh, that was in the steer wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay, so step us through all. Yeah, that was right. That was in the steer wrestling. Sorry, and all-around champion Justin Thigpen was our dogger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it was close on the barrier for sure. But go ahead.
Yeah, when you looked at the instant replay,
Yeah.
thank goodness they have it.
Yeah.
It definitely showed
Yeah.
that he broke the barrier.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't a question there. The question was, did the barrier work right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
I guess they determined it did.
Yeah.
And because some of them malfunctioned, things changed, but they determined it worked right, and he broke the barrier.
Okay. Okay. And they took their time. They did it right.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. Let's get it right. You
Yeah.
might not be able to get it perfect every time, but
Yeah.
when you can, let's do the best we can do. And, you know, it's just so overdue. And thank goodness they have it there now.
You bet. You bet. And Glenn Jackson came in second last night. The Oklahoma Cowboy runs an 8.5, picks up $2,700. Jeb Chapman was third place. He's ranked number 2 as we come in to the in the world standings in the calf rope, and he's about 13 grand behind. But he picked up some money last night, but so did Justin. So the big money is still, the separation is still there. But he ties an 8.9, picks up about $1,800. And then finally, Cato Llewellyn, Oklahoma Cowboy, ties in a 9.1. Fourth place, picks up $926.
Well, Zeb made an outstanding run on his calf.
Yeah.
He made an outstanding run. That was really good. And Cattle, what can you say about him? He's been there, done it, and he will be a force to be reckoned with before this finals is over.
Okay. All right. And we're hoping that we can get Justin on our show. We talked to him last night at the Buckle Awards ceremony. He talked about stopping by. And we got a couple barrel racers that we're going to talk to, Sam, whether it's today, tomorrow, or Sunday. We're going to be talking to these young ladies.
Yeah, and that there's such a, how do I want to say this? It's such a competition between them, but yet they're the first and second last night we're a sandwich together, sitting there chatting about what they did. So
yeah.
the camaraderie is just amazing.
It's amazing. And Julie Plard, she's in the lead, of course. She comes in with 57,000, wins the round last night with a 16.5, picks up $3,700, takes her to over 61,000 right now on the year-end earnings. And what a run last night, Sam. And it's so close between her and the next young lady. It's crazy. Talk a little bit about Julie's ride last night.
She was first out on the ground,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
And she just did her job.
Yeah.
You know, very solid. Her horse looked like it wasn't running as hard as it will, but she was in here at the WCRA and did well.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other girl hit a barrel, just barely fell, and she was 16-3. So
Yeah.
that was Kendall Scrubs.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
made a really good run. So I think this is a standard pattern. That's one of the things I wanted to ask the girls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a really good time in a standard pattern.
You bet. You bet. You talked about the WCRA that was at the Lazy E last weekend. She finished 5th, picked up $4,000. Now, those dollars count to 2024, but man, she comes in. She's ready to ride. You can see it. She runs a 16.500, and I say that because the next cowgirl, you actually picked this out. You picked her out and said, pay attention to this young lady. Comes out of Vermont. Wendy Chestnut runs a 16.524, 2/100ths of a second, and she was 8th out, Sam. She was 8th out.
The horse
On the ground, I should say.
Yes, and that makes a difference. But they drag after 6, so really she was second.
Okay, good point. Good point.
Just good. You know, that horse handles everything. I don't know a lot about barrel racing, but I know that's a versatile horse. It handles all kinds of ground, mud, and this is great ground here. The facility is used for just these reasons, and they have it in there permanently, and they know how to make it good. But she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Somebody messes up, she'll be there, because she very seldom messes up.
You bet. And that got her $2,700 last night, Sam. So what a way to start off. And then we talked about the story of the Julies. This young lady, Julie Goodrich, she was ranked 3rd coming in, and she runs a 16.571 and places 3rd with $1,800.
You know, when I watched that run, I thought Julie was going to win the barrel race. Her horse came off the 3rd barrel a little bit wide, kind of cost her, you know, what was it? If it had been,
oh gosh, yeah,
you know, 400ths of a second, she had won first, and
That's right.
definitely coming off that 3rd barrel cost her that.
You bet.
So it's going to be exciting because there's a lot of good girls out there that are running so close.
You bet.
And Julie's been around a long time. Not saying you're old, Julie, but she's been around a long time and knows what she's doing, and she will give them a run for their money before it's done.
You bet. And then the 4th place finisher last night was Stephanie Joyner out of Henrietta, Oklahoma. She came in ranked number 6, and because of her run last night, Sam, the amount of money that she won, picked up 1 position. She's now sitting in 5th place. But she ran a 16.647 to get 4th place and $1,000.
Yeah, listen how close they were. You know, when it's 16.47, that's 1/10 of a second from the winning time, and that in the barrel race is a lot of time. You know,
yeah.
They're so close. You know, if you ever took a stopwatch and tried to stop it within a 10th, you know, of a second, well, I guess 8. It's hard to do it less than 7/100ths of a second.
Yeah.
I tried to get my reflexes faster by doing that, and I
Yeah.
didn't have to do much work. So
Yeah.
it was a fun game.
It's a fun game, absolutely. And then talking to the storyline, one of the storylines, of course, is Julie Thomas. We talked the stories of the Julies, right? The year of the Julies. Ranked number 2 in the points race as she comes in. Runs a 17 flat last night, just out of the money.
Yeah, I don't know much about Julie Thomas, but I know she's been there and done that. And maybe her horse hadn't run here in the WCRA and hadn't had the advantage that the other girls had. and we'll see what tonight brings.
You bet. Absolutely. Back at it. Lots of money up. Let's shift to the team roping. Last night on our header race, we had the team Jake Wells and Briar Hamilton. They come in, or Jake comes in ranked third. They win the round last night with a 4.8, and Briar Hamilton's ranked number 5. So that put Wells and Briar in the lead of the average. They roped with a 4.8. They look strong, Sam.
Yeah, the team roping was outstanding last night. Just outstanding. There was a lot of reaching and roping, and I don't know how long of a barrier they have on these, which is I call it the scorer barrier. Different things, but that's probably out there about 15 foot, and a 4-second run and 15-foot barriers, just really fast.
Some of the reaches we saw, I mean, there was one catch last night. I don't know if there were 6 inches left on that rope stand by the time he dallied off.
He was at the knot. Definitely at the knot. Yes, sir.
Oh, my. And placing second last night was a team of Garrett Smith and Josh Clayton, and they picked up a check with a 5.4-second run, coming in second with $2,778 for that team.
Yeah. There was just some good team roping, and the one that surprised me, not this team, but roped 1 foot, and
picked up 5, plus a 5.
So Brad Culpepper, and he roped 1 foot for his
Braxton,
boy. So hey, Dad's going to be rubbing that in, or the boy's going to be rubbing that into Dad a little bit.
Yeah. Come on, Dad.
Yeah.
Come on, Pop.
Hey, we were supposed to win this thing. Let's go.
And they've had such a great year, so don't count them out, man. Ton of money
Never
left.
count them out.
Ton of money left. And then third place last night was 5.6, and that was Brady Barentine and Reno Gonzalez. They come in, they pick up a check about $1,852. And then finally, fourth place with a 6-second run is Casey Hicks and Stitches Stanley.
Stitches. I'll remember that name. I won't remember many, but Stitches is stuck.
Yeah. And then the team we are watching, of course, they come in number 1, Heath King and Stephen Britnell. They go a 14.8 broken barrier.
Yes, and that's trying. You got to push it to win, and they're trying to win. And this kid from Leicester, North Carolina, that's how I stuck Leicester in there.
Yeah, he did.
He ropes very well. Yeah. They were just trying to win, and that between breaking the barrier and not breaking the barrier is just hundredths of a second. So,
yeah. And they got to press. I mean, this is a team that wins a lot of money wherever they go, so they got to press, right?
Every time you got to press. I mean, when Colton would call me up and say he broke the barrier, and at first I got a little frustrated. Well, why? No. As the more I pay attention, if you know you got out, you're probably late.
Yeah.
So push it every chance you get.
You bet. And representing the IPRA, of course, and the WCRA as we talk about the alphabet. What do you call it? The alphabet soup of all these associations. They go to the WCRA event in Lazy Arena last weekend, pick up $5,300. So they know how to get it done.
Yeah, and they stayed right here, and they're riding for more big money. So it doesn't get much better, folks. Get your rodeo counts in for the WCRA.
Get your nominations there, too. Man, oh, man. All right, final event we want to talk about here today is going to be the Cowgirl Breakaway Roping. And Sarah Toole wins it last night. She goes 3 flat, splits first and second with Kelsey Mabry. Talk a little bit about these Cowgirls thing.
Breakaway roping is always tough anymore. I mean, these girls have waited to do this, and the IPRA was the first one to bring it to the finals and make it a regular event, just a standard event that you have to have at your rodeos, and it's paid off for them in dividends. And these girls are outstanding. The one that I don't think I've ever seen anything like I did last night, and I'm not sure which girl
It was
did
it was Kelsey Mabry.
So she split first,
Yes, she did.
and when she roped the calf, I said, "Oh man, that was a nice loop," and it popped right off.
Yep.
I mean, when she was pulling her slack, it rolled back up off the calf's nose, had a nice figure eight in it,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it rolled off its nose, and then the next thing, it just fell right back on. So when it's your turn, it's your turn, and when it's not, it's not. And you know, if it would have been so easy to see, you know, when she pulled her slack, and usually when you pull your slack like that with that figure eight in the loop, it stays there.
Yeah,
And it just,
yeah.
it must have, the rope just rolled the wrong way.
Yeah.
But, then rolled the right way.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and the announcers caught it and they showed it on the video, and the crowd said, "Wow," you know, kind of went wild.
Yeah, and they picked up $3,200 a piece, Sam. So big money coming out. We're seeing it, and then we go to third place, a young lady out of Ohio, Buckeye State, rookie cowgirl, Hadassah Mullet. She run a 3.6 second run, places third, $1,852.
Yeah, she that calf really ran, and she ran it down the pen a little farther than the rest of them, but made an outstanding run.
Okay, excellent. And then finally, or I should say next, is Cassie Chapman. Ropes a 4.5. Made a nice run. Places fourth with $926.
Yeah, that calf was at the other end of the pen. He had the jets on, and she might have been off the barrier a little bit where I was sitting. I couldn't tell too much, but that calf flew down the arena.
Yeah.
And she did what she had to do. She really ran up, tracked it a couple till she knew she had a good shot instead of taking a dumb one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just trying, because she was so late that, or so far behind the calf. I'm not saying she was late because I couldn't tell from where I was, but she made a business person's run, and she'll be back for tonight.
You bet, you bet. And yesterday awards were handed out. We're going to get a hold of Buck and Horse and Buck and Bull of the Year, right?
Yep.
I haven't seen those yet. I was up to see if they've been posted. I didn't see them yet. Do you remember who they were, or at least?
No, I was actually kind of in the back of the room, and I couldn't hear very
okay,
well. The place was full. It was overflowing with people. They kind of ran out of room. It was a great event.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hear. Even the one that rode Rodeo of the Year came up and talked to me, and I never said congratulations because I didn't know. How dumb is that?
Yeah.
But
we do know for a fact Miss Dana Gann is IPRA Rodeo Secretary of the Year 2023.
yes, she is. Well deserved.
Well deserved. So excited for her. And talked to her last night. And thank you, Dana, for all the great help you're giving us the results and the draw. And she's doing what she's doing. Boy, the machine is running, Sam.
Yes. Just looking forward to another great day of rodeo.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So who you paying attention to tonight? What event maybe, or what cowboy or cowgirl, or what are you thinking as we head to tonight?
Well, believe it or not, Doug.
Yeah.
This is going to be way off the wax.
Yeah.
The barrel racing.
Yeah.
I think, they were within 4/100ths of a second from first to second.
Yeah.
And, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. And on the record, in the pre-show, what did I say my favorite event was?
You did say the barrel
I did
race.
say that.
Mhm.
And this is good watching. And what a great arena to show. So tonight at 7:30, we're going to be back there for another round of competition. We've got the Old Timers reunion going to be going on here a little bit. As we say, we're sitting here in the middle of this Contract Act showcase. We're kind of off in a bit of a corner, but man, there's a lot of activity going on here. Good to see all the folks, and good to see the good energy here, Sam.
Yeah, and I do apologize for the background noise, but where we're at, it's really a good spot, except for the background noise. We're apologizing for that, but thank you for joining us with this, and
You bet.
appreciate it.
You bet. And tomorrow morning, we're going to do we'll wrap up round number 2, and we'll let them know who we got to talk to today. I'm still looking for the barrel racers. I'm still looking for Julie Plard and Wendy Chestnut. Where are you, ladies? We want to talk to you. And, of course, Justin Thigpen. We got to get that cowboy on here, and he'll be here. He will be here.
Yeah.
As I said earlier in the show, we are in the Contract Act display here, and I had a moment here. We took a bit of a break, had a moment to get up, stretch my legs, go out and talk to some folks. And this gentleman that's joining us here today, Clay Drake, he's a rodeo announcer. So Clay, tell us where you're from. Tell us what associations you're announcing for.
You bet. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I grew up in Kansas, and so my dad rodeoed. He produced rodeos and did a little bit of roping in high school. Not much, not very good. Got into fighting bulls. Decided I wanted a job that I got a paycheck regardless who rode, who got bucked off, and then kind of transitioned to being a rodeo clown. Did that for about 14 years. It was a wonderful experience. Got to travel the United States, see a lot of cool places and do a lot of cool things and meet a lot of fabulous people doing that. And took a little break and come back. A buddy of mine said, hey, you ought to start announcing some rodeos. You've got a great voice. And growing up in high school, I would announce, high school football games, basketball games, and everything. Got into announcing wrestling. Currently announce high school and college wrestling events. I'm one of the voices.
Okay, I just got to stop you there. Okay,
here, I see some excitement.
Oh, man, when you say wrestling, Sam, we talk about the 3 R's, don't we, all the time?
Sure do.
All the time. And just for the record, okay, Clay, for the record, it's rodeo, racing, and wrestling.
You bet. You bet.
Oh, that is so interesting. Were you a wrestler yourself?
I've never hit the mat personally. So I teach ag. It's one of my other occupations I do in life. But I was at a little school called Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And they've got the oldest wrestling tournament in the nation right there in Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Oh, my goodness.
And so kind of got started there. A co-announcer announced for this high school. And he's like, man, he said, whenever I retire, you need to take my spot. And lo and behold, next year he decided to retire, and they moved me right in. And so I do everything for the state of Oklahoma. I'll go to Reno, Nevada for the Reno Tournament of Champions, announce out there and everything. Do some college duels and everything. So,
yeah.
I love wrestling just because it's kind of like a rodeo. In the blink of an eye, things will change and happen. And there you go.
Okay. So. Well, what's the season looking like for you for next year?
We will start. I'll start in June. Normally run all the way to October. I've got a couple of days open in June, a couple in July, and a couple in August. I need to feel kind of situation. That's kind of one of the things that brought me down here for this convention and everything. And so I thought, well, we can just jump down the road and kind of take a gander, meet some people. It's always great to coexist with the barrelmen, the clowns, the other announcers. I always preach to my kids, it's great to make connections. You just never know where that will lead you. And that's opened a lot of doors for me personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I love doing that. It's kind of a crazy deal. This past year, my high school FFA kids won the National Livestock Judging Team competition at National
Well, congratulations.
Convention. Thank you. Well, it's a blessing, but it's also a curse. We leave June 19th to go to Ireland and Scotland to judge.
Oh, my.
And that's kind of prime rodeo season, so I'm missing out on some rodeos. But it'll be a great experience to take those kids abroad and experience that and see that and everything. But, I'm always anxious to get back to the rodeo arena. It's kind of like I said, I love to travel. I love to meet the people in the rodeo world, meet the fans, meet the committees, meet the stock contractors. I have been blessed to just work with great ones, and all people who take care of me, people who always encourage you, and that's kind of what I think is important at this deal.
Perfect. And you clowned for a while.
I did clown. Like I said, 14 years.
Yeah. So how is that informed your announcing when you got up on?
I think it helps a lot, especially when you're working with a rodeo clown. That's why I can always tell them I know where you're coming from, and so I can help lead into an act, or if there's a joke or something, kind of. I also kind of know, I can kind of give them that sign of, hey, I need you to step in now, or hey, we need to hold off, and let's get through something. Again, I've had the pleasure to work with some great barrel men, funny men,
Okay.
and so that's always nice. I've had some new kids get started, and I always love to help them kind of, there's a young man that's going to compete tomorrow in the Contract Act Showcase, and him and I have been conversing for over a year now, and I'm kind of helping him. He gets some acts ideas and kind of runs them by me or some jokes, and I love to tell him, hey, I think that's good, or hey, I think you need to tweak it this way, and let's try to do this.
And what's his name?
His name is Lane Chance.
Lane Chance. So we'll pay attention to that, won't we, Sam?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Pay
Hopefully it works
attention to
out
all.
well. He's got a new act he's trying, and I said, well, it'll either be great or it won't, but it's all in how you make it happen. It's kind of like I told him I had a car act that I don't know how many times it would die in the arena and wouldn't start, and we had to be towed out, but you just spun it and went on and laughed about it and enjoyed life.
Okay.
And,
And what's the best way for these rodeo stock contractors, these rodeo committees, to get a hold of you?
well, obviously the phone is the best way, and that's it's 405-334-1613.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook, just Clay Drake.
Clay Drake.
You can find me right there as well. But again, I always it's kind of like I tell everybody. It doesn't matter if it's an open rodeo, professional rodeo, sanctioned rodeo. We make every rodeo professional. I believe that from when you kick that thing off till you end it, it needs to be professional. It needs to be quality.
Yeah.
I love to talk about the contestants. I love to explain the events to the crowd, get them involved, and really kind of engage that audience as much as possible.
Excellent. And we have a slogan here: BTC, riding for the brand.
Yes.
BTC, riding for the brand. Do it in your best. I mean, it's like top of the deal for us. Go ahead.
Well, BTC, it's riding for the brand.
What do you think, Sam?
Sounded good. I do have a couple questions for you.
Ask
You
him.
bet.
Ask him.
You said you've never stepped on the mat in wrestling.
Yes.
And I know this is more of a rodeo weekend.
That's
but
all right.
I'm very so how much did you have to go learn about the moves and the reversals and
I had to learn a lot, and one thing I'll say is thank God for YouTube. That there was, but like I said, I had some good mentors. Whether it be wrestling coaches or wrestling announcers, who would kind of step in there, and I would listen to them. I just sit there and. I'm a student of the game, so I'm constantly listening to their voice. I'm listening to what they're talking about. I'm listening to talk about the moves, along that line, figuring out the scoring. A lot of people don't understand how the scoring works, and it's just recently changed again. And so people, that's going to throw a curveball to some people. What a takedown is going to be, with 4 points versus 3 points and things along that line. And so it just was kind of engaging myself. And it's the same thing I do with announcing. I love to get on, and listen to rodeo announcers. What are they talking about? What phrases are they using? That's something I can interact with myself. Is there, something along that line? It's been very cool that my son goes with me and runs music for me.
Oh, he does.
And so we have that connection, and he kind of does the same thing. He's constantly listening to music and what's going on.
Okay.
Is that something we can bring into our group of things and
You bet.
utilize and
You
stuff?
bet.
So I believe in this world, you got to be a student of the game, in order to be successful.
Absolutely right.
So
You got another one, Sam.
Yeah, because it has changed immensely. I was from when I wrestled to now when the boys came in and started doing it. There was things that I did that are now illegal. And
You sure they weren't illegal back then?
no, not at the time, but it is now. So it involves so much that it's just like rodeo. It has evolved a whole lot.
Yeah.
But that would have to be tough because it's hard to know it when you've been in it a lot.
yes,
Because it's so technological.
Yes.
Somebody throws a Merkel on somebody, and half the time nobody knows who's getting pinned at that point. And if you're not on top of the game, it's pretty tough. So it's
Well-
pretty impressive that you can do it without the background.
and that's kind of another thing on that deal. A thing that I like about it is, it just changes that quick. That you have to be adaptable. That you might be getting ready to call something, and within that flip of a second, you've got to totally change what you're going to say because they totally moved everything away. So you get ready to say he's getting lined up to get pinned, and all of a sudden another kid's on top, and he's in the pinning situation, and now we've got a holy cow, what just took place?
Yeah.
One of my favorite matches took place here in Oklahoma. There was a young man that had wrestled at 220. Well, they had a kid moved in, and he had to bump up to heavyweight. but he wasn't a true heavyweight, and he went against another kid who was a true heavyweight, and it went the distance. I believe it was 1 or 2 overtimes, and that kid wins. But that's why I said, just determination and just being smart in his moves and what he'd done to not get him in a situation that would get him pinned, and he won off the points. But, he earned every single point to get there.
Yeah. And I've always said speed beats power.
Yes.
But when you have them both, that's a good thing.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah. And, in the rodeo world, it is what I've found out. It's not so much what you've done or where you've been. It's the people you meet.
It is.
These are the best people there is.
Oh, 100%. Again, I go back. I always laugh when I was clowning. My wife would go with me quite a bit, and I always laughed that by the time we were done at the rodeo, she knew half the people in the arena, and we had places to stay for the next year, or we had food. It just amazed me. Again, people just, that's the thing about the rodeo community. They're going to support you. They're going to back you. They're going to help you. I watched there as a young man in the bullfight competition that got hurt, and just watched the amount of support that has come in to help that young man, with financial needs and whatever. They posted on there that they needed a walker for him, and just the amount of replies of people that were jumping in there. Hey, I've got to walk. Where can we ship it to? How do we get it to you? Type things. It's just one of those deals of you never have to worry if somebody will have my back, because there's a whole army that's got your back in the rodeo world.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
Excellent. Well, Clay, we thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you showcasing this deal. Again, I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
They've worked hard to put this together, and it's been tremendous. The amount of traffic we've had here. We've got to have some good conversations again. May lead to some rodeos, but I know I'll have some friends, and that's
right.
more valuable
That's
than
right.
anything.
That's exactly right. So thank you.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
You bet. Bye-bye. Well, earlier I was walking around the Contract Act display here, and I walked up to this young lady, and I said, "Do you want a sticker?" And she said, "Yes." And she said, "And I'm going to keep it forever." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." And she goes, "Yeah, I'm going to put it in my face or in my scrapbook, Sam." And then she goes, "So when I'm old and wrinkled like you, I'll be able to look at this." And I'm like, I was so impressed, and I can't wait for you to get old and wrinkled. I just got to tell you, this is Riley Minteer. Riley, welcome to Beyond the Chutes.
BTC riding for the brand.
I love it. Well done. Well done. So
Hold it, Doug.
Hold it.
BTC riding for the brand, you old, wrinkled up guy, you. Okay, now we can go on.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So Riley, talk a little bit about the horses that you use in your trick riding act.
So I use Wild Mustangs, formerly Wild Mustangs. My 2 main horses are Fiona and Grace, Amazing Grace. Grace is from Adobe-Town, Wyoming, and Fiona is from Beauty's Butte, Oregon. I've had them we've had Grace for 10 years and Fiona for about 3 now. We're going into our 3rd year with her.
Wow.
But they were formerly wild. They were in the wild, and then we got them, trained them, and now they multiple times a week perform for rodeos in front of crowds, and it's insane to see the transformation from wild to mild.
Wild to mild.
Yeah, that's
I like
what we
that.
call it.
I think that ought to be part of our slogan somehow. Sam. BTC, wild to mild.
We used to be wild, now we're mild.
Now we're mild.
Old and wrinkled
Yeah.
and mild.
So were you part of training these horses?
So my mom trained Grace. She's her horse. Fiona, we bought her from one of our clients. She wasn't completely wild when we got her. She was like halter broke. She was not very broke to ride.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't buck you off or anything. Like
Yeah.
she was pretty good. But I basically got her and trained her to trick ride. I had a lot of help, obviously, because I was like 11. I got her for my 11th birthday, actually.
So before you go any further, how old are you now?
I'm 13.
Oh, that was years ago.
Oh,
you were 11.
so long ago.
You are 13 years old.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Wrinkled years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will not let that go, young lady.
And just so you know, to connect with our listeners, we actually had your grandfather, Dave Minteer, on our show. His show is going to be coming out probably in February. And guess what? Your show's going to come out first.
Oh, I'm gonna have to rub that in his face.
I think maybe.
Imagine that. Wrinkled old grandpa.
Yeah. So I know a little bit about trick riding, right? Do you do the what's the drag?
The death drag?
The death.
Yes.
Do you do the death drag?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Cossack death. Is it the Cossack?
Yeah, people call it so many. Death drag, Cossack drag, suicide drag. There's multiple names for it.
And the Apache Hideaway?
Yes.
Okay. And what else?
I do a lot.
Liberty Stand?
Liberty Stand, Death Drag, Apache, Sitting Fender, Full Fender, Layer of the Neck, 1 foot stand, side back, and...
Do you vault up?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. How tall are these horses?
Depends.
Yeah. What do you mean? They vary? Their height varies by day?
Yeah, Mustangs...
Depends what they ate that night.
It determines how tall they are?
Well, okay, so the Mustangs, they tend to be smaller.
Oh, they do?
Then,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're good in the arena? They're doing... wild Mustangs. This blows me away.
Grace is good. My other one, she's still a little bit... She's young. She's green.
Yeah.
She's... I've been working with her on trick riding for about 3 years now,
Really?
and she's still... all horses, when there's 5,000 people in the stands and they're all screaming and clapping and there's music blasting, and they can get a little, but for the most part, she's good.
Yeah. And for our, go ahead, Sam.
She's young, she's green, she's not wrinkled.
She's
yet.
not wrinkled.
And for our listeners, you're third generation rodeo family, upstate New York.
Yep.
And where in upstate? Where do you live?
We're about 2 hours from Buffalo.
From
New
Buffalo.
York, or we're about an hour from Rochester.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you're way out there. So how's the season looking?
It's upsetting, cause my summer season is great. I have multiple rodeos a week. It's upsetting though in the wintertime though, cause I don't get many rodeos. I travel a lot upstate or west. And I get rodeos up there during the winter, but other than that, it's like it's very slow.
And
during
anything
the
local? Any arenas you're working local?
I've done Bath, which is about 30 minutes from me, half an hour.
Okay.
That's the most local thing I've done though.
Okay. You done anything with the backlesses yet?
Yeah, I trick ride for them at least once a week during the summertime for the Crossover the Line Rodeo. I love it there. It's like it's the highlight of my year, definitely. Yeah.
And your brother rides bulls.
Yeah, he rides multiple times a week too.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, this is so exciting. How often do you practice? Where do you practice?
We practice a lot. It's a lot of work. At least 2 times a week at minimum, to stay on top of our game, and it's a lot.
It's a lot. That is good. And are you taking gymnastics or anything in school?
So, I've done dance, gymnastics. Right now I'm in tumbling. And then I also swim and dive. That's my sport during the winter time.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And I do have a question, though.
Okay, go ahead.
Before this ends, and I don't want to forget about this.
Yeah.
All right. Now, who cleans the horses' stalls?
There you go.
Okay. I want to know who does the back work at this business.
The whole family.
You're supposed to say me.
Oh, you don't live at my house.
Does your brother clean ever?
He's a little slow when it comes to that. He's like the rest of us are going. We're cleaning 5 stalls, and then he's over here. Oh, I've done my horse's stall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. He's one of those guys.
He's an iPad kid.
A what?
An iPad kid.
I didn't know there's.
What's
an
iPad kid?
I don't even know. What this is.
He's a bull rider. That's why he just has one bag to carry. He doesn't have to feed a horse. He doesn't
Oh, he
have to
complains
clean
about
a
that
stall.
all the time.
Well, hey, that's part of being a bull rider.
That's right.
He
Try to
complains
figure it
about
out.
all
Yeah.
that all the time.
You know,
he's like he wins some money, and my parents are like, okay, we need a little bit help for gas money because
Yeah,
we're
you gotta
hauling
pay-
you guys.
you
And
gotta
he's
go
like,
down the road.
Riley should pay the gas money.
Oh.
I wouldn't have to pay as much because we have to haul the trailer.
Oh, that's smart. No, I mean that's logical.
No, I'm with her.
I'm-
Uh-huh.
You know, most
Yeah,
bull
I'm
riders.
with him, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, most bull riders I know they don't get up till noon.
Uh-huh.
But he's out pitching and doing that, and we're talking
No,
about
not
Levi.
much. She's
No.
doing most of it.
Yeah.
She's- I bet your mom does
I
most
see
of it.
Levi.
Yeah,
I see
mom
it.
does do most of
If
it.
I was a betting man, and they
Yeah.
take horses in for training there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have about 30 horses at our place.
Holy
right now.
cow! Wow. You got it
Actually,
going
my
on.
neighbor has a horse at their place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
I said,
one?
I don't know.
What's the
I
horse's
don't know
name?
either.
Do you know
Yeah.
your neighbor's name?
Yeah, I know
Well,
my neighbor's name,
just
but I
do-
don't
Do you know the
First
horse's
names.
name?
No.
No.
I know the neighbor's name.
What's the neighbor's name?
See, don't put me on the spot like that. Deming.
Deming.
Yeah, I have no clue.
All of that, it didn't really matter.
No.
Now,
Okay.
now when Jerry
I need the
listens to
horse's name.
when Jerry listens to this, he's going to say she doesn't even know my
Yeah,
horse.
yeah.
I wonder what
Well-
kind of training's getting done.
Well,
Yeah.
I need to know the horse's name.
Yeah, for sure. So, she came up with a new slogan. We want to hear it one time before we go.
I already forgot it.
What?
I already forgot.
I think
oh,
it-
Wild to Mile.
BTC.
BTC Wild to Mile.
All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy. Miss Riley Minteer, to our stock contractors out there. What's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Probably Facebook
Facebook?
or email.
Email? Okay.
MinteerRiley@gmail.com.
Okay. And
Or, yeah. I think. I don't know.
Okay. And how can they find you on Facebook?
Riley Jane Trick Riding Special TX. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm blinking. I think that's it.
Okay.
Mom, is that
That's
it?
excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Riley
that's
Jane
perfect.
Trick Riding Special TX.
13 years of age. Old and wrinkled, she said. Old and wrinkled.
Hold
And
it.
she
Now,
still
I
took
got
my sticker.
one more question
Oh,
for this
so
young
sorry.
lady.
So sorry.
You know, she's battling off this Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. You're so young. Do you have a phone number where the older stock contractors can call you up?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, thank you.
585-261-3046.
All right.
Again?
585. Do I need to say it slower?
No, but you always need to repeat it twice when you really want somebody.
585-261-3046.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Always twice when you leave it on an answer machine, because
All right.
old wrinkle people have to listen very
Yeah, I
closely.
figured.
She got the last dig
Oh,
in.
she
I'll
did.
give her it. I'm done.
Riley, thank you for
I
being
quit.
on Beyond the
course.
Chutes.
Surrender.
Thank you.
As promised, we've got the winners of last night, or the winner, I should say, of last night's tie-down calf roping. Justin Thigpen's with us here today. Welcome to the show, BTC. Great to have you.
Thank you, sir.
So talk a little bit about that calf roping run. Fast run, you win it all. Last guy out. Talk about the pressure.
Pressure nowadays is kind of put on yourself if you do it. I had a good calf, and I knew I did. I just wanted to go out and do my job. And as you get older, you realize you're competing against the animal you draw more than just worrying about what the field does. You can't dictate them anyway, so just do your job and see where it unfolds at.
So even with all the pressure, and this for our listeners, even with all the pressures, 15 competitors in both of the events that you're competing in. Describe that behind the chute experience right now at a big finals like this.
For me, it's having fun. Behind the chutes, actually, I had one of my kids just riding my horse around and stuff, and me and him's back there cutting up and joking, and it kind of lets the pressure off. You realize there's a better side of everything. You don't worry about it, and man, it's strictly having fun for me now.
And you've been doing this how long?
I cut my teeth doing it. My mom run barrels and my dad rode bulls, so I grew up in the rodeo business.
So when did you go pro?
I guess I was 19 or 20, and I went at it, and we've been going ever since. And I've been blessed. I've had a great career, met a lot of great people, have a lot of great friends all over this world, and I'm very blessed.
Yeah. And you went on a tear. 2009 to 2014, you were the IPRA World Champion in the tie-down calf roping. And now you're hauling with the family. So not traveling as hard as you used to.
No, definitely not. I went to less rodeos this year than I ever have.
Okay. So making the most of what you got.
Yes, sir. But I put on rodeos too, so the production side of things, Sam can tell you, it's nonstop. I mean, you're meeting committees, planning your next event, new stock, trading in and out. It's a whole different side of the ball for me, but I love it. I've put them on for 10 years now, and rodeos bless my family, and it's what I hope that we continue to do and grow in generations.
And what areas are you producing these rodeos in?
I'm all the Southeast. I'm Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas, Alabama.
Okay. IPRA sanction?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And let's talk a little bit about the instant replay in the steer wrestling.
Yeah, there was some question last night about a broken barrier, and when I watched the instant replay, you could see that it was a broken barrier. And I kind of wondered at first why I challenged it, but it's there, and thank goodness they put this in. I am a big proponent of the replay. Try to make it fair as we can.
That's correct. I challenged the call of not the broken barrier. I challenged that it was a bad gate, and we went back and looked, and even through the gate man and all, declared that it was a bad gate. But I did not get another cow because I tried to cow, meaning I would have had to pull my horse up and declared myself. But when you're doing it in 4.2 seconds, it's happening at the drop of a hat, and I did go on and compete on the cow, and I get it at the end of the day. But that's just kind of a gray area. I mean, the problem come before I jumped off on the cow. It come at the start of the run, but I get that the rules also says you got to declare yourself, which there's no pulling my bulldog and horse up. You're going to the back end and coming back and talking about it kind of deal.
And I so disagree with that rule. Pull your bulldog and horse, double grab. Your mindset is go. If your mindset isn't go, you shouldn't be in the box. So your mindset's go. I think that should be changed somehow. I'd even rather see it be a judgment call than no, you gotta declare yourself call. Did he declare himself? No, but you don't think to stop when you're in that momentum of winning. It's and he was 4.2 and would have split the round. So I don't like it. I don't like it for anybody, especially bull riding, which if you're getting jerked down and you slap them and jump off and say, well, I got fouled.
Yeah.
But no, you were getting bucked off.
Right.
So, yeah, it's one of the few things I'd rather see as a judgment call for the judges. I love the replay. I love it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan for the replay, too, and it gets it right. That was just a one instance where, the replay got the call right, but another rule trumped it in sense. And it's just kind of a gray area. And, hey, it's called rodeo, and we'll keep going for 3 more rounds, and it'll all wash out.
A lot of money on the line, dude.
Yes,
Lots to come.
And, folks, it's called rodeo, and it's the most unfair game there is because it's not just you against somebody and out in the field and running. It's unfair, but it is what it is, and it's what we choose to play. And if you let that get in your mind, if he sat there back in the box tonight and says, man, I could have won that round last night. No, it's all over. You can't change what you did yesterday. It's all about today.
You bet.
And where you're going.
You bet. Absolutely. And talking about where you've been, where you're going, you say that your biggest win this year was St. Tite?
Yes, sir. I had some luck up there at St. Tite. Did good, placed throughout, and St. Tite's always a great rodeo fun. But my biggest joy of the whole year, if you ask, is just traveling with my family, enjoying rodeo. Not having to beat the road and feeling like you got to, just doing it because you want to.
You bet. Wife, Laura, she is qualified for the IFR in the past.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then you've got a son, Slade. He's 10 years old. And Trent's 8.
That's correct.
And Trent had a little sickness last night. He's feeling better?
Oh, yeah, but he's a trooper now. He's a cowboy. He'll be ready and riding my horses and help me get them prepared tonight.
Okay, absolutely.
So this is the clown, and the other one's the cowboy.
Yes, sir.
Now, wait a minute. Let's go there. What do you mean he's clown?
I have some very good clowns that work for me at my rodeos, and, I mean, he's dressed up. He's in his bag. He's not just to help with the act. I mean, he's a hype man. He's on the fence. He's doing it all from start to finish. He's getting his career and cutting his teeth in it, and I think he'll be great one day.
Okay. Can we put him on the microphone?
Yes, sir.
Introduce yourself and
tell me a joke.
Yeah.
Now that's being put on the
Oh,
spot.
that's
Let me
too much.
tell you,
That's
that's
too much.
unfair. I'm
All right.
sorry, young
All
man.
right. All right.
Just
Let's-
say hello.
Hi, my name's Slade. I'm 10 years old.
And you're a rodeo clown.
Yes, sir.
How
that's
long you been
correct.
clowning?
I started this year.
Just this year. Okay. So working, you got the baggies going on. You getting the barrel lever?
No, sir.
Mostly on the fence and that sort of thing?
Yes, sir.
And you get the crowd involved and hype them up and get them rolling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And we have a slogan here at BTC. It's called BTC, Riding for the Brand. Would you do that for me one time?
Yes, sir. BTC, riding through the brand.
I love it. Thank you, Slade. Thank you. Well, we wish you good luck. We're going to be there tonight. Know that we're cheering you on, Justin. Man, let's go for, you got, you're 22 right now, 22 World Championships. Why not go for 25 by the time we leave?
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah. Dan Daly's 28 or 29, I believe. Come on. How many more years? What are you thinking?
Whatever the good Lord blesses me
Okay.
with. Like I said, I'm having fun and
Yeah.
raising my kids up in it. And if he wants me to keep going, we'll do it.
There you go. We appreciate you being on the show. BTC, Riding for the Brand. Do it.
BTC, riding for the brand.
Thank you, Justin.
Yes, sir.
What a treat. Thank you
you.
for being on Beyond the Chutes. And you can tell Sam and I are excited to be at the IFR watching this great rodeo at the great venue, the Lazy Arena in Guthrie. And you can find this show, BTC, and we are on the road again this weekend. We invite you to check out the Beyond the Chutes Facebook page and our webpage. Find us, follow us. We're posting up a bunch of content this weekend. And come on, like it, comment on it. Let us know what you think. And we'd like to say thank you to ParaSight Systems for their support with our podcast. ParaSight is a push-button parasitic diagnostic system for pasture animals, horses, cattle, goats, sheep, and chickens, and for your companion animals, your dogs and your cats. You can order your test kits at poop2proof.com. Sam, did you hear this? I had Eric on here the other day. Right, we did a short podcast with him, and he said if you go to poop2proof.com, can you repeat that for me, please?
Poop to proof.
Poop number 2. Well, of course, it's number 2. Poop2proof.com and BTC 023 50% off your test kits, Sam. So, and I've got some test kits. If somebody wants to stop by, go home, test your horses. Let's have some fun here. Let's get some information. This is Beyond the Chutes with
Sam Swearingen.
Until next time, this is Doug Simcox. Thank you for listening.